There you are. I'm like, let me not sing in case they can hear me. How are you guys? Hello. Hello. um, it's a little crazy around here right now because I'm leaving for Tucson tomorrow. I leave at 6 in the morning and then I'm back. It's a day trip because I have to go pick something up and it's time sensitive. And then I fly back again on Monday. So anyway, it's a little busy, and keep in mind I'm still like in medicine space. It's going to be a real fun ride in Tucson. It's fun. It's really I'm going to light my soul shift candle. It's fun to shift in front of you. Yeah, it's actually chillier still in LA than it is in Tucson right now. Not at night, although we're in the low 40s right now in LA. So we don't have like super warm weather happening even at night, but it is chilly in Tucson, I know. So I'm preparing myself. I'm still going to wear tank tops during the day because if it's 70 degrees outside, that's what's happening. That's right. So anyway, this is my Super Bowl, right? The Tucson Gem Show is the Sage Goddess Super Bowl. So there's a lot of energy that goes into it. But I'm very excited for tonight's class. I have a lot to cover with you. And then, that is cold for LA. Yeah, yeah, 40 degrees at night, 43 degrees at night. We are wearing down coats and Uggs, and people on the East Coast just laugh. And my husband's from New York State, upstate New York, so he legitimately knows what cold weather is. And even he's like, man, I've been in LA too long. Like, 43 degrees is cold. But I'm so happy to see you. And so tonight, here's what's on the agenda for tonight. A little bit of what's on the agenda for tonight. I want to talk about running energy. We are going to be crafting tonight our medicine bundles. So excited that you're excited too. And like I said, you kind of, it's blue sky when it comes to your medicine bundle. You can use just the stuff that's in your mesa, your herbs, your oils, your crystals, or you can take stuff from outside. I was sharing earlier when I was doing the intuitive readings that I have some seashells that I'm putting into my medicine bundle because mine is for overcoming obstacles to the legacy that I want to create in Hawaii. And so, because that really is, when I think about, I'm 45, and for me, my soul shift, like I really do think, and maybe it's because of my age or, the phase of my life that I'm in, but I really think about what I want to leave behind. And one of the things I really want to leave behind is a sanctuary where people can go and seek healing, spiritual, mental, physical, emotional healing. One day to be able to do ceremonies there and all kinds of things. But it seems like 1,000 obstacles between me and the manifestation of that vision. So my medicine bundle tonight is about removing those obstacles. They're easy to remove. I just find that I need a little help. And as it is with all of your obstacles too, right? So I've been really focused on that. I know pretty much where I want it to be. I know pretty much what I want it to look like. I already have people who have said, if you create this, I will come and help you. I will work with you. I will support you. I already have healers who have agreed that they will live there for certain parts of the year, which is pretty crazy to tell you that. Like I have friends who are like, no, I will live there all summer. I'll take care of the land in the summertime. Oh, well, if she's going to be there in the summer, I'll live there in the fall and I'll take care of the land in the fall. Oh, well, if he's going to be there in the fall, I will come. I know. And so I just need to get from where I am to where I want to be. And so I want you to think, as we prepare this medicine work tonight, where are you now with your visions and with what you want to create in the world? And where do you want to be? And what do you want to leave behind? What is your fingerprint? What is your... And it can be really simple, right? Like, I also want to leave behind 2 happy, healthy humans that I gave birth to and that I hope have beautiful lives. Like, that's my legacy too. So I think, okay, well, let's overcome obstacles to whatever it takes for children to grow up and be happy, healthy, productive members of our collective, or, whatever it is that you're trying to create. It can be grand, it can be small, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be a huge vision. But let's work on crafting some medicine tonight that's going to help you overcome the obstacles to getting there. Yeah, and if writing is what you want to create, Tara's going to move with me, girl. I will welcome you in. Honestly, I'll be like, listen, welcome to my retreat center. This is Tara's room. And so if Tara says you can go in there, you can. Otherwise, you got to leave Tara alone. Tara's meditating, right? Writing in courses, right? Whatever it is you want to create. I want you all to be there. When I talk about a commune, I'm not kidding. I think it'd be really fun to grow old together. Wouldn't it? We just all kind of hang out. I like having a bunch of people around me all the time. I'm not really a solo player. I like having company come and stay at my house. I like to have people around. I like to have activity happening. I like to have food around. Like, I'm kind of a people person. So wouldn't that be fun? Right? A lot of people, they grow older and it gets boring, and then they don't have, networks, and so they get lonely. That's not going to be us. I'm sorry. We have too many friends around us to grow old and feel lonely. That's right. Honestly, if we play our cards right, those could be the best 10 or 20 years of our lives. Crafting by day, a little bit of a fun, funky town tea and journey experience by night. Might never want to go back. Right? Silver shifters. That's right, Annette Chastain. I love that so much. Beautiful question. Maribel's asking about anointing. Let's talk about anointing. And so I'm trying to create spaciousness tonight too for questions. Okay, so in the middle of all of this, I'm hoping to leave really the last 15 minutes just for you to come in with questions about what's on your mind. This is our last class for January. We compressed it a little bit because of Tucson, because it's really hard for me to teach from Tucson. You will see me live from Tucson. I am doing fun behind the scenes and giveaways and secret listings and all that stuff from Tucson for you. But teaching class, traveling with my Mesa, doing all of those things was just going to be a little bit challenging. So that's why I compressed the schedule. Next month, it isn't compressed like that because I don't have all of the travel obligations happening. So hopefully that's helpful. I'm glad you're excited. Tracy's overcoming the obstacle of feeling unloved, not only for herself, but for her daughter, who has had weight issues and been bullied, is being bullied at 19. It's never too old to be bullied in our society, unfortunately, right? Oh, I'm glad you guys are looking forward to Tucson. So yeah, so you should prepare medicine for that. Why not ask Ganesha for his help in overcoming your own feelings of being unloved, which, by the way, I know you know this, Tracy, but I'll just say it in case anybody else doesn't know it. It's like your feelings around that have an impact on her. So when you heal your own feelings of feeling unloved, right? Yeah, Ursula's got a bully at work. When I look at bullies, honestly, and jerks, I see God in God's teacher capacity. It's like, oh, look at this person. What are they bringing up in you? You know what I mean? What kind of ancestral unworthiness, right? What kind of icky stickies coming up there for you? And are you finally ready to work through it this time? Every time I see a bully, I see God. So I don't necessarily ignore them. I might ignore a bully to a bully's face. You know what I mean? But because I don't think you always have to engage with bullies. Bullies are spiritual reminders. And so, but I don't ignore the sign that they represent, which is, okay, it's time for me to finally own my worth. It's time for me to finally step up and step forward in my life. It's time for me to finally own who I am and what I do and stop apologizing for it. Because if you're really strong in who you are and what you do, watch what happens to bullies. They're just a test. Do you really believe in you? Do you really love you? Do you really think you're worthwhile? As soon as the answer to all of those questions becomes a full body yes, watch the bullies sort of fall away. They won't have any work to do with you anymore. It takes the batteries out of them, okay? But you're the one who gave the bully life in the first place. Might sound like a little bit of tough love on my part, but I don't think things like that happen by accident. And I think as you get older and stronger in your pathway, right, it makes it really hard for that kind of energy to rise up and strike you in the same way. At least you're not going to react and respond, right, the same way. So, Melissa, we're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to deconsecrate your tools, meaning that you can You don't have to deconsecrate them all. So if you want to watch what I do tonight and then do this for yourself on the 31st of January, like right on the last day of the month, that would be okay. You might wish to deconsecrate your tools tonight and put them away and just get ready for February. Maybe your February Mesa is already arriving, and so you want to set up next month's medicine. You can do that too. So I'm really glad you asked that question. Tonight is just going to give you kind of the process, and then you can you can think about how to work with it. Well, Sarah, you know what's funny is we've all failed the bullying test before. But if you're giving into a bully, or you're believing a bully, or giving a bully part of your energy field, you know, in the form of crying or resisting or feeling all those feelings and feeling unworthy and not resisting and pushing back and seeing the lesson in it, then you are giving into it. Right? So the big thing with magic, and yes, this is a class session, so my team is taking notes. You just put your pen down and focus, right? Because that's exactly why I have my team taking notes, so that you can just be fully present. But that's really, really what this class is about, in a way. We're getting beyond the symptoms to the disease. Because when the same pattern keeps happening over and over and over again in your life, at a certain point you have to look and say, I think there's something else at play here. And I don't know if it's about owning my worth. I don't know if it's about being in full alignment. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's about loving myself in all of my perfect imperfection. I don't know what this is about, but I want to know, right? Truly, truly. I think it's so true. Yeah, Karen Carley said that she needs her notes, which I totally understand. I always have my notes, and my handwriting is so unfortunate that nobody can ever read them but me. Hold on, I just dropped all my shells. I made a separate trip back to my house today to get those shells, so I'm not going to let them drop on the floor and not end up in my medicine bundle tonight. So we're going to talk about running energy tonight. We're going to talk about closing and deconsecrating tools. We're going to talk about moving energy in addition to running energy, and then we are going to be crafting, and then a little time for Q&A at the end. It's good stuff, isn't it? Really, really true. Well, and that's the thing too. You have to completely surrender the idea of changing anybody in your life anymore. You can't change people. You can't even really change circumstances. All you can do is set an intention and do your work. Set an intention, do your work. Set an intention, do your work. The more you do that, though, the more you stop trying to change and fix everything, that's getting out of the way. You know, really, truly, that's getting out of the way. That's creating space for space. That's allowing magic the opportunity to work on your behalf. And so it's half the battle. Is just getting out of the way, because you are truly, Anna Flutterby said it best, you can only control yourself. And Sally Weber followed on with a beautiful response, right? I can only change my response. And then Diane with, look at the wisdom in the feed. I'm not the only teacher here, my friends. It's so true. Releasing ego, said Ursula. You know, change you, the rest will follow, says Diane. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful magic here, truly. So Julie asks, could be life events repeating also be the fact that you haven't learned the lesson? Yeah, and every time, think about it. So the universe is like a parent. It loves you, but it needs you to learn. It doesn't want to raise a shitty kid, okay? So just like with my Nick and Zoe, like I don't want to raise shitty kids. I'm always saying like I'm just a mom trying not to raise assholes. And so, right? And so I try to teach them the lesson the first time gently. If they show me they're not going to get it that time, then I'm going to have to show them a different way. Might be a little more uncomfortable, right? They show me the third time, how happy am I? I'm not happy, right? I've told you to put your shoes in that closet 3 times. Now you lose your electronics. Okay, come downstairs the next day. Shoes in the closet? No, they aren't. Taking the electronics away didn't work. Now, you don't get to have a play date with your friend. Or you ratchet up the consequences, right? Because we have to not raise asshole kids. The universe needs to raise good kids. And so it's trying to teach you these lessons gently, but you're not putting your shoes in the closet. It sounds so simple, doesn't it? you know, but it's the same stuff. And every time I get frustrated with my kids, do you know what I hear? That little voice that comes, this is what you're doing too. Don't be so hard on them. Your shoes aren't in the closet either. And we're having to ratchet it up with you. So don't act like you're perfect, because you've got your own version of shoes not in the closet going on, sweet sister, right? So there's always this medicine from the universe. Okay, so let's talk about running energy. Can we start there? Does that feel like a good place to start? I'm going to show you what I have for medicine bundle making, just in case you want to go and grab anything before we get started. So obviously I'm working with my blend that I made with you, that we made together in our perfuming. I called mine Clarity, and I love it so much. I did not end up diluting mine, just because I found that I've been working with it. I've been anointing with it. And I'm going to come back to anointing in just a second. And I didn't want to dilute it. So I kind of went with my intuition. I have some different crystals from my collection that felt like they were important, especially aligning to my intention of healing, of being able to see clearly, of being in line with my dharma, my soul path. I have green calcite because that's the medicine of what I want to bring to that space. I put a little black kyanite on here for clearing the obstacles. I've got blue chalcedony for creativity, carnelian for the energy I'll need, sunstone for leadership, and so on. I'm going to be adding some tobacco. I'm going to be adding offerings, herbal offerings. I'm going to put a little copal in my medicine bundle. I'm going to put a little bit of white sage, some mapacho tobacco. I'm going to break these cigarettes open and put just a little bit in there as an offering. And I've got Palo Santo. And then I'm going to tie off my bundle with some feathers. I liked this one because I thought when it's done, it's kind of fun to tie feathers in with your sari ribbon. It's not required, but it's optional, and it brings in air element energy. Because if you use your oils, that's water, right? If you use smudging herbs, that can represent air and also fire, because those would be burned, right? Tobacco also represents fire element, and then you have your earth in the form of your crystals, and then you have a little bit of air energy in the form of feathers. So if you have a feather, great. If you just want to use what's in your mesa, like I said, you're welcome to do that. I just kind of wanted to inspire you for other things that you could include. Yeah, so Cecilia's got a great question. I know, Ursula, right? It is going to be yummy. Cecilia's asking, are you able to undo the bundle? The answer is yes, if you feel called to. I don't, for the most part, undo bundles, which is why I mentioned the little cautionary note earlier. I don't put stuff in my bundles that I'm super duper attached to, because I'm not going to have it for a little while. So I didn't put my prettiest shells in. I didn't put, I have shells at home that Zoe has specifically chosen for me, because we always go shelling when we're on vacation together. It's our girl time. And so I keep all the shells that she finds for me personally. Have big containers of them at home. And so I didn't bring any of those, just because I know that they're going to be, whatever shell I put in here is going to be hidden for a little while. Right? Copal it's a good question. So one of the things I want to tell you is, do you know about that incense I've mentioned that I've been being guided since ayahuasca ceremony to make for you? The one that has mapacho and copal and white sage, palo santo, bay, blue lotus, buchu, which is sends you to Funky Town. So I actually am going to make that incense and offer it for you sometime next week. And so that will have copal in it. Copal resin, though, just the little tears of copal, they call these copal tears. You can find these in different places. I think you can even find them on Amazon. This is golden copal. I wish you had smell-o-vision. It looks like bath salts, but that's definitely not a bath salt. So that's beautiful copal too. But when that incense comes, if you want to add a little bit of that incense to your medicine bundle, that would be a good blend for you to have too. That'll be a fun one for you to burn. Yeah, Ursula said Amazon has everything. Go get it. Amazon is crazy, isn't it? I don't know about you, but I remember when Amazon was just starting. Actually, I had hosted Jeff Wilke, who is number 2 at Amazon. He's been with Jeff Bezos at Amazon for 20 years. But I worked with Jeff Wilke. It was about 20 years ago now. I was at USC, and I was responsible for the guest speakers who came in to speak in a class that I was teaching with the president at the time. And Jeff Wilke was this way down to earth guy. We ended up singing "Don't Stop Believing" by Journey in the faculty staff room, and we almost got kicked out for singing too loud. But he was just fun. He had gone to a Journey concert the night before, and then I told him how much I loved Journey, and we ended up singing together. I did not at that time think that this down to earth guy and his boss were going to basically take over the world of retail. You know what I mean? And ultimately provide me with copal incense and all the things down the road. I mean, it's just crazy when you think about, life and how people grow and create what they create. Super fun guy. But anyway, that's another story for another time. Okay, so let us get started. Session 4 of Soul Shift is in flight. So it is. So happy to have you guys all here with me. Not quite. Joy was asking if this is kind of like hoodoo, where you can't let anybody touch your bundle, don't look at my bundle, don't smell my bundle. You know what I mean? Not quite. It's really interesting to me, though, sharing with you girlfriend to girlfriend. We had full moon ritual in here the other night, and there was a woman who'd never been here before. The room was packed with people. Those of you who were here, it was overwhelming. We didn't have enough room in the classroom to hold everybody. And this woman came in, and she was touching everything. I couldn't get across the room to kind of ask her to stop. I was energetically asking her to stop, but she was literally touching every single thing on my altar, and I thought, someone didn't teach her. People should always ask your permission. It was so psychically uncomfortable. You guys, it was really, really strange. I've never had anybody come in and just start picking stuff up off my altar and holding it and turning around and extending the wands. And I thought, ooh, holy smokes. I asked my spirit guides to neutralize her energy so that she couldn't leave an imprint. It was very, very strange. And I share that with you only because that's good for you to know. You shouldn't touch other people's tools, and people should always ask your permission before they touch your tools. It's not like if somebody touches your tools, it's all messed up or you can't use them anymore. But people do imprint. You know what I mean? They leave the residue of their energy behind. And so for me, my bundles go on my altars. I've got a lot of altars. And so it should go either on a primary altar, a secondary altar, or it should remain with your mesa. So when you package up your mesa to store it, if you're gonna put it away, I would put your medicine bundle with your mesa because it's anchoring the energy, right? Oh, I would love that. Mia's Touch is asking, can we add the ashes into the medicine bag? Of course you can. And how beautiful that would be, right? Like that's because the ashes represent the full cycle of the plant medicine, right? So how beautiful that would be. No, I just asked, I was talking to someone else across the room and I could feel her touching everything. And so I just asked my spirit guides to go and neutralize her touch so that she didn't imprint on anything in the room. And it was funny because she stopped touching about 2 minutes after that, right? Really crazy, isn't it? Yeah, so Christine has a beautiful question too. How do I recommend storing the mesas? I would try to the best of your ability. It'll be difficult with your candle, but to take your herbs and your stones and your and of course leave your bell out on your altar now. There's one tool every month that I hope you'll continue to use, like your cacao cup from February. I'm hoping that you won't bundle that up with your altar. That should be a cup that you use for all of your ceremonial teas or any important medicine drink should go in there for you, because that's a blessed little cup. But everything else, your crystals, the oil drams, the medicine bundle that you're making, did I miss anything else? All of that can be wrapped. And I like to start by putting everything in the center and then drawing up the eastern quadrant first, the eastern side first, then the south up, then the west in, then the north down. And you can take something like sari ribbon, in the Peruvian tradition, they actually have mesa ties. And a lot of times they're beaded. I have one in my office. A lot of times they're hand beaded. And so that's what you wrap and tie your mesa with, almost like a package, right? Again, you want to tie, if you're going to do this, you want to tie your mesa up so that it has almost like a Christmas package, right? So the ribbon cuts the four corners, the four directions. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's true. So Cindy said there are videos on YouTube that show you how to fold a mesa. If you want to do it in the strict traditional way, you can actually watch those videos and do it that way. What I just taught you isn't necessarily what you're going to see there, so I'm also sharing my method, and then whatever feels right to you is good. But like I said, I always put everything in the center, east in, south up, west in, north down, and then bundle the four sides together. Yeah, so, and Colin's asking if you want to use some of the tools rather than store them up. Is that okay too? Yeah, so use your intuition. It is okay if you decide later, like, oh, I really do want to go back and grab X out of my mesa. It's also okay to go back and unbundle your mesa and to take something out with intention. That's totally okay. Sarah Robin has a great question. When would you use an old mesa again? I really appreciate these questions, by the way, so thank you. Here's my intention for the year. This is what I saw during ayahuasca ceremony. I saw you guys with like a cabinet. Honestly, what I saw, there isn't really a framework for what I saw in the meditation, but do you know like those office supply stores where they have those, they're like plastic shelves. I think you can store magazines or you can store files or whatever in them. Do you know what I mean? They're like stackable, like lucite shelves. I saw something like that, and I saw each one of the mesas tucked in on a level, and I saw them labeled. Intention, love, right? Each one of the themes of each month's mesa. And so what I saw in my meditation was you as a healer starting to work with a client, for example, who said, I really want to work on setting intentions. And you saying, okay, and going and getting your mesa and saying, I have the oils for that, I have the herbs for that, I have the stones for that, and I have a ceremonial bundle to help me. So that you can use those, unwrap that mesa and use those tools to work either next year on your own intentions or to help support a client. Same thing with love, right? So you, after February, you've got your love mesa complete. So if someone wants to work with you around love, or you want to do your own work around love, you go, you get your love bundle, right? You've got everything there, the crystals, the oils, the herbs, the talisman, everything is all neatly compartmentalized in one space. Does that make sense? That's my vision, but that doesn't mean that's the way you have to do it. I'm also like a neat freak. So I think that's why I also, in my vision, was not just seeing the class content, but like how you would organize it and structure it, because I don't like clutter in my life. So I kind of like the idea that everything has a place and it's all neat and organized and you know exactly where it is. Do you know what I mean? And it's all, everything you need in one cool place. Yeah. Oh, and the other thing too, I love Michael's. I love Target for like storage solutions. They had this really cool cart, and it had shallow drawers. And there was one that was like rainbow drawers. That would be a cool one too. Like you could assign each mesa a color, and then it gets stored in that cart in the color that you need it. I don't know. Michael's and Target are very, very dangerous places for me. I'm not allowed to go there unsupervised. I am not allowed to go there with any kind of budget. You know what I mean? I can't go in there with money to spend. I need to go in there with a list of things to do and my coupon, and that's it. You start letting me loose in those places, and all of a sudden I've got crafting ideas, and then I have no time, right? So then that stuff just goes and sits somewhere. It's a recipe for disaster. Seriously, I need to be supervised in those places. And then I start talking to people. What are you making? Oh, that's inspiring. I have the coupons on my app, so that's how I get away with it. I got my Joann's coupons and my Michael's coupons. Anyway, we are kindred, right? Okay, so we will get to crafting in just a few minutes. I want to start by talking to you first about running energy. It's just dangerous. And if I'm honest, you know, the reality is there's one thing in the cart I need, and the rest of it is just stuff that jumped into my cart and wanted to go home. So dangerous. Okay. I'm going to read to you for just a moment, if you don't mind. So, and then we can discuss. You ready? This is what I channeled for you about running energy. So you can take this in. You do not have to write this down. I will post this for you. I just wanted to read it to you because I want you to sit with the words. Okay, ready? The most important shift you can experience this year is a shift in the amount of energy you are able to conduct, process, transmute, and raise, all of which collectively can be understood as running energy. Running energy requires an ongoing awareness of your personal energy level and the use of tools and techniques to calibrate. People who are able to run a lot of energy often appear more youthful, intelligent, energetic, and spiritually connected. They may be all of these things or none of them, but when one is able to run increased energy, he or she does age more slowly, experience less stress, stay in a relative state of calm, react less dramatically to external stimuli, enjoy life more, and stay focused on tasks, even multiple tasks at once, with clarity. With all of these benefits, you might wonder why most people don't work to enhance their channels to run a higher set of frequencies. There are two reasons for this. First of all, most people have no idea how energy works. And second, if they do, most people are not aware of some of the techniques I'll be offering to you here. Your intentions, awareness level, and your thoughts are your software, but your body is the hardware. And the technology upgrade required to run new software often also requires an upgrade in the hardware. How many people, this is a really important question for you to sit with tonight, especially given what we've done together this month. How many people are consciously willing to allow their lives to be changed physically, spiritually, and emotionally? In my experience, not many. It all sounds good, but the reality of whole-scale change can be daunting until you realize that it is a process that unfolds effortlessly if you allow it, and everyone around you can also upgrade their systems alongside you so that you grow and evolve together toward higher evolutionary versions of yourselves, right? You guys are willing. That's why you're here. And that's why I love you, because you're brave and you said yes. But that's right, Delina Stockton. Too many people are scared. Because change is change, right? This is a game everyone can win. And if you're being called to allow change, it's likely that those around you are being called to or will be. Soul webs incarnated together with contracts to be of higher service to each other, which includes healing. The biggest secret when it comes to running energy is also the most backward sounding idea. To really enhance your energy field, you must learn how to take negative energy and transform it into usable light. You must learn how to engage in energetic composting. Most people never come across or consider this principle, but in my view, it is every magician's dream come true. It is the ultimate secret weapon. You've been taught your whole life that negative energy must be avoided or transmuted or banished in order for you to stay well and healthy. But that is one very narrow perspective. I was taught this as well in the pagan path in my early days, and I consider it a big miss in terms of helping me work with the entire spectrum of energy in my field. I was made to believe, as you likely were too, that negative energy is energy that it's okay to waste, right? But that worldview presupposes that some energy can be inherently bad or negative, even evil, but energy is neutral, my friends. It can be directed in a negative way, even sent to you with dark intention, but you are always strong enough to compost it. You can create a home or sacred space that is relatively immune to its effects. Reiki is one tool that allows you to move in life without fear, because Reiki does filtering work automatically to a certain extent. But you don't need Reiki to compost energy. How would it make you feel to reconsider the challenges, pains, and hardships in your life and to see them as fuel? In order to do that, you must first neutralize and integrate those energies. I like to use portals for composting. Did anybody miss the full moon ritual? I did a little composting there. I opened a portal for a lot of the hucha that was being held in the room. The energy was thick. You could cut it with a knife in that room, right? As soon as I opened that portal, did you experience that, right? And we put all of that in there to compost, and we closed that portal off. That leaves those energies there to be transformed. And what you can do in a secondary exercise that I didn't talk about is return to that portal, ask the portal keepers to help you open it, right? And ask them to return to you any of that energy that has been transformed to usable light and to reintegrate it into your energy field. That is the step that we didn't take in that ritual. So I'm going to talk to you about that tonight. I'm going to teach you a little bit of the protocol, because this for me is the other big teaching of this month. We're going to walk through a dozen techniques this year to help you run energy more efficiently, including chakra balancing and different chakra exercises, ones that I haven't done with you or with anybody before, but based on my own learning and my own expansion and my own understanding of how energy works. But from my perspective, what I'm teaching you tonight and what we will be talking about in the months going forward, this is the big juice of this class. Like, if this is all you take away from Soul Shift this year, it's almost enough, to make the whole trip worthwhile, right? It's very, very important. Okay. One exercise is to imagine a beautiful composting container in a secret, sacred garden. Send the energies you wish to clear into the composting bin and imagine Pachamama herself coming with her basket to retrieve them. Imagine her digesting and consuming the negative aspects, and then imagine her returning them, feeding them back to you as usable light code and frequencies that are supportive of your health. You can send illness energies from your own body into this composting container as well, asking that they will be cleared on your behalf and sent back to you in the form of highest healed light, re-entering your body as luminous light codes that unlock the source and symptoms of whatever physical pain or discomfort you have experienced. Isn't it exciting? That's right. So, yeah, and Nathan, that's exactly right. So since we called upon Pachamama, Sekhmet, and Kuan Yin as our portal keepers, and any of those avatars can be portal keepers, right? I always ask their permission first. Will you, can you, would you, are you available to? And as soon as I get the affirmation, then that's who I know I'm calling in. And when I go back to retrieve the energies, to get fed now from this buffet of magic that got transformed, I ask the same portal keepers to bring the energy back and to replace it, to feed it back to me in the form of light code. In the Karo shamanism lineage, Hucha, Hucha, is the word used to describe these low or dense vibrations that you are offering to Pachamama. Pachamama knows how to consume Hucha as food. When you give her your pain and suffering, you allow her to consume, transform, digest, and transmute it into a source of nourishment for her, and by extension for the planet as Sami. Sami, S-A-M-I, is the highest and lightest frequency energy available to humans or spirit beings. Pachamama takes Hucha and creates Sami with it. So Sami is the food that she gives you back. What a powerful shift. Instead of feeling guilty, and this is what I really want you guys to hear on this point, you ready? Instead of feeling guilty, because I'm singing to a lot of you right now with this, for giving your pains and your worries and your fears to Pachamama, because we as empaths are so used to apologizing for asking others to hold space for us, we can look at this process in a new way. As a gift you give to yourself and to the earth as well. Your disease is her food. She can consume it and give that energy back to you in a new and nourishing form. Be in a constant cycle of sending down into her what you can no longer carry and allow her to consume it on your behalf. She will then transform it and return it to you and the planet in ways that will increase your peace, presence, and comfort. Gather up your Hucha. It is Hucha time. It's composting time, and Pachamama is always hungry. She is ready to trade your Hucha for her Sami anytime. Isn't that cool? Okay. There's another brief exercise called the seed field for running energy. If we have time tonight, I will get to that. If not, we will talk about that next time. The other thing I want to talk about briefly with food, just to kind of prepare you, because we're going to go more into food next month and then probably even more so in March. I'm not going to recommend like a complete dietary overhaul for you, but I do want to say this on food. The sun, okay, and really keep this in mind. The sun is the power source here when we're talking about transforming low energy into usable light. And so in order to be able to almost do this automatically, you need to try to consume, ideally, at least half of your food, at least half your diet from things that have been touched by the sun. Animal products are obviously off the table because meat is animal, flesh that does not make contact with the sun. So I'm talking about fruits and vegetables and herbs and things that make solar contact. Does that make sense? It's really, really, really powerful when you think of it that way. So every time you go to eat something, I want you to ask yourself, is this sun-kissed? That lemon you're putting in your water, right? It is. It would be great if you could eat the flesh of it, right? But it has been grown by the sun for you, right? Anything that has had solar contact is going to be a higher form of nourishment for your body. Water is obviously highly solar, right? Salt, solar, right? So all the things, and I love fruits and vegetables, and I'm learning how to integrate more of them into my diet and eat more of a plant-based diet. It's hard for me because I sure love meat. I mean, I'm never going to be a vegan. It's not going to happen. I'm Greek, and it's almost sacrilegious to Greek people. We love our meat. But I sure can go like 50% in, you know what I mean, and make sure that I have solar contact every day in my diet. I know, bacon is not solar to me, right? If you are a vegan, honestly, my hat is tipped to you. My brother is a raw vegan, and he's 11 years older than I am. He's 56, he'll be 57 soon, right? The guy looks like he's 40, 45. And it's because he doesn't eat animal products. Yeah, do a no meat Monday. Make sure you have some fruit every day. Don't eat fruit with anything else. It's really not good for you. Fruit is best digested on an empty stomach. So do fruit first thing in the morning or last thing at night. But don't do fruit. Fruit isn't a good dessert. It starts to ferment in your body and can lead to uncomfortable digestive conditions. Yeah? Intermittent fasting is great. Smoothies are great. But again, smoothies on an empty stomach. Don't do your fruit with food. Coconut oil is great, right? Yeah, exactly. It putrefies and it creates gas. That's why people are always like, they eat, fruit at the end of a meal and they wonder why they have gas really bad. It's like, well, because your fruit is putrefying. Don't want to be gross with you, but that's what's happening. So no fruit for dessert. I literally will pull the plate away from people. I'm like, nope, I'll happily get you a real dessert, but you can't have fruit right now. But you can have fruit in 2 hours. My kids have learned about food combining. It really is an important skill. Celery juice all day long, right? Beautiful suggestions. You guys have the right idea. Nuts are lovely, right? Nuts are solar, grow on trees. Beautiful solar food that you can work with too. Yeah, it's really interesting. Root vegetables, still okay because that sun, right, is warming that earth. They are growing in Pachamama's belly. So I still think of root vegetables as being solar. Not as solar as other foods, but for sure, right? Chocolate is for sure solar. Why do you think cacao is such a sweet medicine, right? So we have to get back to what is true and what is pure. Nuts are okay with fruit. Yeah, nuts are not going to bother you as much. You definitely don't want to do dairy with fruit. When I see people doing like yogurt with fruit, I literally cringe. Like those parfait things you see. Not going to do that. Avocados are beautiful for you, right? Cacao, just in case I forget to tell you next month, only on an empty stomach. In my experience, and only a tiny, tiny bit because it can upset your stomach too. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so if we have time tonight, we'll come back to more suggestions for running energy. But the main thing I want to talk to you about right now is portal keeping and just for a few minutes and portal management. So let me go over that for 5 minutes and then I'll see if you have any questions and we'll get to crafting. Okay, so if you were with me for the full moon, you saw me opening a clockwise doorway with my right hand, okay, which is, in traditional learnings and teachings is associated with the masculine, right? Because the right hand represents the left brain, which is the masculine side. So we're opening a clockwise portal. And one of the things I do before I open a portal is set an intention for what this portal is going to compost. And again, this is your composting bin. I say portal, but let's call it the bin, okay? So what is the intention for your bin, right? Deo Sil, right? Which means Lola Bunny in direction of the sun, right? And so, or sunwise is another way of saying Deosil, right? Sunwise, Deosil, clockwise in the direction of the sun, direction of the masculine. And so you have to set an intention. My intention that night was to take from that group what was no longer serving them, right? And that's one of the beautiful things you can do. Because when we put those energies in that container, all we were doing was creating space. So instead of them sitting and holding on to their anger, all of a sudden their anger is over here. We didn't banish it. It's still sitting in the portal, right? But it's composting, so it's changing form. That's the other really important step of all of this. And I was doing that work for the collective, right? I didn't want to take people down this road. You guys are students in a class, so you guys get like the 2.0. I didn't want to necessarily teach all of that night. So you set an intention for the bin. What is she composting? And so tonight I want you to think about, if you're open to it, I'm going to open a container, a bin, a composting bin tonight to hold all of the obstacles on your path this year to what it is you wish to create. And I'm going to ask Ganesha if he would be willing to hold the portal tonight. Ganesha, will you be a portal keeper for us to hold the space, to take from us all of the obstacles standing in our paths, the ones we are aware of and the ones we are not aware of yet? And can you hold these for us? Can you transform them into fuel for our development, into stamina? Can you transform it into opportunity? Can you take those obstacles and make them into something usable for our path? And if you want, I can always hear the validation coming through, but if you want, you can use your pendulum to ask. Just do a little dowsing. So look for yes, no. So Ganesha, will you be a good guide for us tonight? Are you able to keep the portal for us and hold that space? Woo. That's a powerful yes. Woo. So Ganesha said yes. And so that Sarah Lucas, you don't have to. Now, sometimes, Colleen asked a great question, right? So sometimes you won't know who to ask to be a portal keeper. For tonight, it's obvious with Ganesha, since we're going to put obstacles in the portal, it's obvious, right? Who will keep that portal? And so, Ganesha, will you be the portal keeper? And let's see who else seems to come forward for us. I feel like Pachamama is coming forward again as a keeper of this portal for us together. It's beautiful. I also feel like, it's interesting, I also feel like Lakshmi is coming forward as a portal keeper to remove obstacles to prosperity tonight. That feels, do you see the pendulum? I'm sure you can see it, but wow, right? Yeah, Dawn sees another. Triple goddess, right? Beautiful, right? You got to keep trying. If your pendulum doesn't work for you, find another pendulum. Maybe it doesn't want to be in relationship with you. Don't take it personally. Just move on to another tool. Give it to somebody else, right? Bridget. Yes, Nathan, indeed. She's Lakshmi, huh? Okay, Bridget, will you be a portal keeper with us tonight? She will. Beautiful, right? Pamela's is going too. Erica's calling in Isis. That would be beautiful too. Isis, do you wish to be a portal keeper for us as well? Can't have too many. They like to work in circle. All right. I think we have our crew. And so the first step in protocol of any kind, you don't have to do a full calling in of the guardians of all of the gateways, not a complete one, but you can simply ask that the guardians of all 7 gateways attend you in this moment to anchor the above, the below, and anchor the 4 directions on both planes. And we give thanks for the guardians' presence and their support. And so, Isis and Lakshmi, beautiful Ganesha and Bridget, we're so thankful, Pachamama, that you've come forward this evening. The 5 of them are like a 5-pointed star, seeing them around the edges, the periphery of our portal space this evening. As we open this sacred doorway, we take the lid off this bin, this composting bin this evening. I'm asking that the collective be able to place their hucha tonight, their obstacles, known and unknown. And you can feel welcome to put stuff in here that you can't see. Give your spirit guides permission to put into the portal on your behalf obstacles that you're not even aware of. You don't have to know, right? Do what feels good to you. Sarasvati would be another beautiful one. She's, in the trio of Ganesha, Lakshmi, and Sarasvati, she represents success and beauty and music and alignment. And so Ursula's got Bridget in her Amazon card. Isn't that awesome? Beautiful. The Arcturians are coming forward to work with Jessica. Beautiful galactic family, right? The star guardians can be there too. Fortuna for joy. Woo. So Becky, in my experience, and I've worked with goddesses and gods from all the pantheons for decades, and in my experience, they'll come forward at different times to do different kinds of work with you. So there are formal portal keepers, right? And then there are informal portal keepers, and they don't even have to have names. Some of you will start working with portal guardians that have no name. Be open to that as well. Horus could be a good one, Morgana, right? And so I want you to imagine, here's my bin for you. It's open. You're creating your own too. And so into this bin, I am putting all obstacles to the creation of my dreams. Anything that is slowing them down, anything that is preventing them from manifesting, anything about my dreams that isn't in alignment with my highest good. Because a lot of times obstacles are simply things that you can't see that are not quite in alignment yet. Move those into the portal. All you're doing in the portal, you're not banishing anything. We're going to be simply asking for these portal keepers to transform these obstacles into fuel for your success, into lessons for you to learn, to grow and develop, into energy to then create what it is that you want to experience and manifest. Right? Any obstacles for Rosemary to purchasing a home with land, right? Any obstacles Angela's experiencing to self-worth, right? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You feel it, Nathan, right? That energy going through your hand. Doesn't it feel good? Like, that's the ritual buzz that we all love so much. Woo. Kerwidwin is beautiful as well. She is the cauldron keeper. I think of Hecate too. The guardian, right, of the passageway. Woo, chills down my spine. Hecate's here. Okay. And so portal keepers, I ask that you take these obstacles from us. Relieve the burdens that they represent. Help us, without these in our path, to move quickly now as we approach the season of growth in the Northern Hemisphere. And we ask that you take these obstacles and compost them on our behalf, transforming them into usable light code, sources of energy, inspiration, passion for us to use. And so we release them to you. And so now this is the return, okay? So we seal this portal, but we also ask portal keepers that you send back to us now anything that you have already transformed. It does not take them long, you guys, for them to take those energies and shift them. They're not us. They're not human. They don't have to wait 24 hours. They know exactly what to do. They've been waiting for you to do this, right? Like, oh, thank God, they're finally putting shit in the portal and letting it go and letting us take it. So now we're going widdershins, right? Against the sun. Moonwise, as they say in the Lakota and Native American traditions, right? Moonwise, counterclockwise. And so as we seal this portal, we take back into our lives, into our body systems, into our energetic spaces, any light code that has been created from our composted obstacles. Help us to retrieve this wisdom, this information, return it to us in the form of fuel, support, inspiration, encouragement, prosperity of all kinds. And we receive it and return it with gratitude. Amen, aho, and so it is. Okay. And so I'm going to ask that those light codes be infused into the items I'm about to place into my medicine bundle, infusing those light codes into the herbs, infusing those light codes into my oil blend, infusing those light codes into the fabric and the ribbon and the feathers. This is the way to craft. You start crafting from this place, you're going to make magic. Can you imagine if we hadn't done this step first? Those medicine bundles are going to be 10 times more powerful because of what you're putting in there now. It's just transformation energies. So may every tool that will be included in this medicine bundle tonight be blessed with these new light codes that have been unlocked and decoded for us tonight. New sources of usable light energy. Aho. And so it is. Now, I'm going to show you the steps that I go through in creating a medicine bundle. Are you ready? Beautiful. So Pamela used her pendulum, by the way, to sort of, your pendulum becomes a gauge, right? You can ask, is everything clear? Are all my tools clear and ready for use? And you can dowse that way. You can ask, are there any other tools that need to be included? Are there any other tools that need to be included? Okay, so guide me to those other tools. Whatever else needs to be included. Feeling like the ash. Okay, is it the ash from my abalone shell that needed to be included? Of course, it starts going crazy now. Okay, including the ash, is there anything else that needs to be included? Nope, that was it. Did you see it change direction? Okay, so that's another beautiful way to use your pendulum as a tool. Cassandra asks, when something negative contacts you, is the compost portal a good tool or do you need something stronger? It depends on how urgent and imminent the need is. So it just depends. If you have time, open a portal, send the energy down. If you don't have time, in my experience, you can call upon Christ consciousness, the presence of the Holy Spirit. Those energies will immediately transmute anything in your environment if you don't have time to open a portal. And sometimes, heavy energy comes on quickly and you don't have the resources to call in portal keepers. Does that make sense? Yeah, wear your obsidian pendant. I'm wearing my quartz one today, but you can always switch too if you feel a heavy energy around you. That's what you have your tools for. Okay, so this is my fabric. You each have yours too. All of our fabric is from the same cloth. We are cut from the same cloth, kids. Isn't that beautiful? Interesting, right? Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Ganesha anointing blend that I made with you. This is an optional step, but it's something I always do when I make medicine. And I'm going to drop a drop at each of the four corners. This tacitly asks the guardians of all of the gateways to imbue this medicine with their energy, and then one drop at the center, which represents the upper world, lower world, and the middle world. I don't know if you can see, but there's little drops. 4 drops at the corners and 1 drop in the center. Plus, it makes your medicine bundle smell beautiful. Mine smells like jasmine. My cloth is this big. I don't know how big that is, but that's how big my cloth is. I actually prefer it a little bit smaller. This is a little bit big for medicine, but I can work with it. Okay. And then what I like to do is first things first, okay? Ash goes in the center, blessing it with the return of the life cycle. And then sacred offerings go second. And so that is going to include tobacco for me. What did I do with my tobacco? Oh, there it is. So I'm going to take a little bit of my mapacho. I'm just going to take one of the cigarettes apart. Most of the mapacho I use, I never smoke. Yeah, I can tilt my camera down just a little bit. Is that helpful? Let me see what I can do. Well, that's good, right? Hi. Oh, that's much better. Isn't that good? I like it. Move my hairbrush out of the way. Okay. So most of the tobacco I use, I never smoke it, right? I use it as sacred offerings. So Great Spirit, Wakantanka, one source energy that guides the intelligence of the universe. This is an offering to you. I ask for your blessings upon this medicine bundle. That's my airbrush wand. I ask for your blessings upon this medicine bundle. I ask that your presence abides here. I ask that you bless not only the process but the outcome, and allow this medicine to continue to do its work for as long as it's needed, and guide me in that process and in all ways. Amen, aho, and so it is. It's beautiful, right? Yeah, it's kind of fun, isn't it, Tori? It just feels weird, like I'm, it's just my chest, but that's okay too. All right, and then I like to layer. This is your artistry. However you choose to do this is totally up to you. I don't know if you were there for the live readings, you saw that I did a perfume blend today. I finished Maestra and Madre perfumes, which are Mama Aya, but in her teaching aspect and in her mother aspect. So I'm going to roll one line of Madre and Maestra at the cross quarters. If you have another blend that you want to do that with, you're welcome to do that as well. I'm giving these bottles away, so I just used a little bit of one of yours. So thank you for letting me borrow that. That felt right. And then I'm going to take a couple of leaves of fresh white sage. The other white sage was used, so I'm going to break up a little bit of the white sage, calling in protection, clarity, guardianship. I'm going to use a little Palo Santo. Yeah, I will let you know. I'm excited for you guys. I knew those would go exactly where they were meant to go. So this is just crushed up Palo Santo wood for healing. I'm going to use one little piece of copal in the center, not a lot, but that is for consecration and dedication of the energies. I was feeling really called to the red sandalwood because I want this bundle to also represent peace and alignment and beauty. Some of the properties of red sandalwood. Definitely putting a bay leaf in. And I'm going to grab a pen because I am going to write healing center. So I'm asking tonight for all obstacles to be removed, for me to be able to manifest that space. And then for crystal medicine, I mean, I'm just playing, kind of like you are too. Let's see. I'm going to put in a piece of black kyanite because I feel like my space already exists, and it's like just clearing out any obstacles to whatever needs to happen there. You certainly could, Jacqueline, write down what you put in. I kind of don't, you know what I mean? Because I'm not the kind of cook who writes down recipes. When I cook, it's a pinch of this, pinch of that. But if you're a cook who writes down recipes, why not write down your recipes? And then motherwort, because I'm definitely calling in divine feminine support. My intention for that healing center is that everybody who comes there will feel so immediately held and loved that just by stepping foot onto the land, that they will already experience a healing beyond what they ever thought was possible. And I want there to be a deeply divine feminine energy to that place. And then I'm going to put a piece of green calcite in because I do want to manifest physical healing for those who come through. I'm going to put fluorite in. Ooh, that's a good one because it looks like the water near where I want to build, for making sure that everything that I'm doing with this center is in alignment with my soul's path. I'm going to put calcite in because I'm going to call in clear ability to see what needs to be done from both sides, from both perspectives. Blue chalcedony to be open to forces of creation and creativity in the process. Carnelian, because it's going to be really hard work. Once the obstacles are removed, that's when the work begins. Sunstone to support me in my leadership as I bring this into being. pre-night with Epidote because I want the space to be one that heals the healers. A little bit of Bloodstone. I want people to experience deep physical healing and comfort when they're there. And then I have my seashells. Isn't it pretty? I love this shell because it has the sand trapped inside. Can you see that? That's sweet. So these are the shells to anchor my magic in the exact location of where I want it to manifest. Now, Jacqueline, I leave mine forever in place, right? But you can certainly take yours apart once your vision has manifested. That's a beautiful way to work with your medicine bundle too. Cindy's doing beautiful work tonight. She's releasing obstacles for the government situation. I can almost promise you that the government shutdown is nearing its conclusion. I feel it very strongly. I'd be really surprised if it went on for even a few more days. I got that very clearly in meditation last night. Whatever it is, it served its purpose, and there's energy moving forward. This is Hawaiian vetiver, by the way. And so I'm going to put just a piece of this in. It has all the grounding ancestral, because it's a root, right? This has the energy of the tierra, right? The Madre Tierra, the Mother Earth of Hawaii. So just a little bit of that beautiful mother root. Okay. Gently using your breath to charge and bless. You can use a little sound medicine too if you want. Let me see if there's anything else I want to include in here. I think that's it. Okay, now I'm going to use a double terminated wand to complete the charging of this. You don't have to do this. If you do have a double terminated wand, it's constantly going to come in handy for Soul Shift. So there'll be all kinds of ways to use it. Salt would be a beautiful addition too. And so I'm calling in support from above and below, channeling a higher vision for the work that I'm doing, and asking that support comes from sources seen and unseen to manifest this vision in alignment with my highest good and all of those who will be touched and served by the work that I do. Amen, aho, and so it is. Huh? Isn't that funny, Ursula? You knew exactly what you needed to have. Yeah, and Lola Bunny, brilliant. She said this is a good place to use broken pieces of stones and just stuff you found in your travels, right? You're never finding anything by accident. Okay, so now orient yourself north, south, east, west. Okay? In the room I'm in, this is west, this is south, this is north, this is east. So I want you to begin in the east. And as you fold it over, I want you to ask for blessings from each of the gateways. Okay? So guardians of the east, I ask that you lay your blessings down upon this bundle, upon this medicine tonight. Now that we've removed all the obstacles to this intention and this magic, I ask that you breathe the breath of life, of possibility, of expansion, of limitless soaring above and beyond, clarity of vision and purpose, as you breathe the breath of life across this bundle. And I thank you for your support and for seeing me in this work. Aho. And Guardians of the South, bring South up. Guardians of the South, I ask that you bless this sweet medicine with fire energy, transforming me from where I am today to where I need to go, giving me the strength, giving me the permission, the cleared path. Think about what fire does, right? It burns clean. Let fire element energies just burn the pathway clean for us to be able to manifest these visions. Aho. Guardians of the West, and if you're a picky pickerman, okay, I'm a little bit of a picky pickerman. If you don't like the frayed edges, fold them under and then bring your bundle together like that, okay? So Guardians of the West, doesn't it feel good just to start to really create the medicine, you know, the bundle? Guardians of the West, I ask that healing come through this bundle for myself, for the collective. I ask for healing to support the vision and the mission of the work and my intention. I ask for the blessings of water to wash over this bundle and clear through anything that stands in the way of its manifestation. Aho. And then Guardians of the North. I ask for your grounding, your strength, your protection. Ancestors, I ask for your blessings. I ask for the blessings of those who have walked on that land before, those whose bones might be buried there. I ask for the support of the tree people and the stone people as allies in the work. And I thank you for your northern blessings upon this medicine. Aho. Okay. Feels good, doesn't it? And again, sound charging it is really super fun. Let me get a singing bowl to show you. Let's see. Super fun to do. So I'll show you how to do that when we're done. Okay. Super fun. I've missed crafting with you guys. This is like the best time ever of my life. There's honestly nowhere I'd rather be right now and nothing I'd rather be doing than crafting with you. So super fun. We just need to do this until we're little old ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so what you do now is you take your ribbon, your sari ribbon, right, and lay it horizontally across your bundle and then flip it, right? And again, if you're a tighterman, right? And I like to tie it once here and then crisscross the other way, just like a package, like you're wrapping a Christmas package, right? And then flip it again, and you're going to put one length of the ribbon under, the other length of the ribbon over, and just be saying your prayers, saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for all that is already unfolding in support of this medicine work. It feels good too. And then you can, if you want to work with feathers, if that's part of your medicine, if that feels right to you, or whatever other tools feel good. I'm going to take a length of this vetiver root again, like that, and lay a little bit of that across as well, because again, it's island medicine. It feels really good to do that. And you're going to tie those in together securely, because you want to be able to, you know, move this bundle around and work with it without being afraid that everything's going to fall out. And then I like to tie mine in a little bow. And you can, I'll cut the loose end of that off, or the long end of that off when we're done. Medicina completa. Isn't it pretty? And I'm sure it smells good too. Oh, it does smell good. Very, very nice. And then, if you have a singing bowl, place your medicine inside the singing bowl. This is a solar plexus bowl. That felt very good and very right. Sweet little medicine. Feels like a little baby in my hands. Right? Yep, you're awake now. Let me just make sure, looking across my altar, there's nothing else that I wanted to work with in this medicine. I think we're good. Okay, I'm going to come back to you now. Hello. That was fun, wasn't it? Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, singing bowls will raise the hairs on the back of your neck and do all kinds of good things for your body. It's very good medicine for you. Okay. Now, we dedicate this bundle to the entire year ahead, to the removal of obstacles in pursuit of our dreams, our goals, and our visions. May all that we seek come to us in perfect time and in perfect alignment with our path, with our purpose. May we see signposts. May we receive the wisdom and integrate it in a beautiful way. May all of our visions and dreams come to pass in a way that serves not only us, but blesses the collective. And may we be encouraged and inspired along the way to enjoy every step of this wild and beautiful life. I ask that every person in this circle, all of you watching now, all of you who will watch later, I ask that your medicine bundles are activated in this moment. And I ask that they serve you beautifully, that they are constant reminders to you of your own strength, your own beautiful potential, and your own shift as it's unfolding. May this be a constant reminder to you that magic is real. And may it always remind you of the bond that connects us across space and time as well. And together we say, Amen, Aho, and so it is. I can feel, it's interesting, I can feel Lakshmi and Pachamama and Ganesha. I can feel their collective sort of support. Like, look, we're clearing the path. You make the medicine. We're over here clearing the path, transferring the code. It's like chess pieces in an invisible game. That's how I think about it. There's all these chess pieces moving, but they're invisible and you can't see them. That's why you have to learn how to trust the process. Isn't that beautiful? Good stuff. So it is. So this is going to go on my altar here in my office. You can choose to keep yours with your mesa. Let your intuition guide you, is what I would say, because there's no wrong place to put it. You can leave it together for good. You can choose to deconsecrate it tonight with your mesa, although I wouldn't. I think we should deconsecrate the rest of the mesa. Oh, thank you, Lisa. I really appreciate that. I think we should deconsecrate the rest of our tools tonight, but not this. I think you should leave this active and consecrated so that you can continue to work with it, if that makes sense to you. Okay, and so now what we're going to do is we're going to light our candle from our mesa, our creation candle. So if you have your creation candle from your mesa, I want you to light it. If you lit it already, that's fine too. And we charged our items on our altar clockwise from east to north. So tonight we're going to release them and deconsecrate them from their work this month from north to east, right? Isn't it beautiful how the energy shifts? So magnificent. That's why I'm saying soak this up. This is how it should always feel. So we're going to begin tonight in the north. I want to give thanks to our grid, to our power pyramid, our black kyanite, our quartz points, our tanzanite, our illusion sunstone pieces for holding and anchoring the energy this month. And so as we deconsecrate, we release you from your work for this month. Of course, you're welcome to continue to anchor the space, but we can also continue to use these tools in other ways. This gives you the freedom, by the way, to use this grid in a different way or take it apart if you want to, or you can simply leave it together as part of your mesa bundle. But we give thanks to these crystals, to the crystals that birthed them, to the land that held them as they formed. We are grateful for support in the north. And we release our intention generators, our mini mesas, our charging discs. We give thanks again for the magnificence of quartz, for raising such an intense, beautiful vibration. We deconsecrate this tool tonight so that you can move it and use it as you feel called, or simply leave it as part of your mesa, allowing it to raise the frequency there for the work you'll do in the future. Aho. And I release and deconsecrate the energy of the essential oils, the carrier oils, and the blend that we made together thanking the mother plants for contributing the beautiful oils from the flowers and the petals and the resins. We're so thankful for the gifts that you provided, the nourishing, the replenishing, the releasing energies that you offered. We release you from your work with this mesa at this time, opening you to be used elsewhere or simply to remain part of the set in anticipation of future work. And we give thanks. In the south, we give thanks to this beautiful candle, to the energy of Ganesha that was manifest in it, for the creation energies that it represented. We release this candle from its work for this mesa for right now, allowing it to do its work elsewhere, or simply remain here until it's time for this bundle to be used again. And if that happens, you'll just consecrate the tools again if you decide to use them. Again, east to north, welcoming the tools, thanking them, and when you're done, north to east, releasing them from their work. And of course, you can do this on the 31st. For a lot of you who want to keep working with your mesa, there's no rush, right? And then last but not least, in the east, we want to give thanks to the herbs, the herbal medicine. I want to give thanks to the feather that came to me from my bundle. I'm going to release these herbs from their sacred work so they can be used elsewhere for other projects, other purposes, or simply allowing them to remain with your mesa in anticipation of future work they will do there. I want to give thanks to Ganesha and the mesa mat, the manta cloth, for holding and anchoring our ceremony and our ritual this year. I want to give thanks to the bell for being an annual tool that will help us open and close circles each time together. I want to give thanks to all of the energies, all of the staff members here at Sage Goddess whose love and attention and intention went into creating these kits. I want to thank Mother Ayahuasca for the inspiration. I want to thank all of you and your spirit guides for being fully present, open to having this experience. The work continues. Amen, aho, and so it is. And with that, just double checking my notes, session 4 of Soul Shift is complete. Kind of my favorite class so far. I don't know. There was a little spaciousness today, a little room to breathe. We got to do some beautiful ceremony and work with sound and work with herbs. It was like everything came together tonight. It felt very integrated. I think you'll feel the same way with session 4 next month when we make our love medicine bottles. But I'm glad you loved it too. It was really, really special. I think for all of us, a really beautiful bonding experience. Yeah, so clap to ground yourself and say your name out loud 3 times. You can rub your hands together and send the energy down into the center of the earth. I'm going to open the circle because we also did important portal work, releasing the guides and the guardians of the 7 sacred gateways, thanking them for attending us as well in our ceremony and our work today. And really thankful to all the plant spirits and the guardians who were present and attended us in the creation of this beautiful medicine this evening. Aho. That's right. Santa Priya said she loves how her bundle smells. She added 11 perfumes without realizing it, right? So it's like there's a lot of notes and there's a lot going on there. But that's how it is with good medicine anyway, right? Oh, that's beautiful. I love that you put a little corner of the bookmark in there. So I got to have my energy bound up in your bundle too, which is really special. Okay. I have a giveaway for you. It is, hold on, stay there, I'll be right back. This is a blue opal heart from Peru. I have a piece of this on my ayahuasca altar because it's such a profoundly important ceremonial stone, opalina. And whoever wins this giveaway, I'm going to post this, by the way, in the Soul Shift group. I'm not going to choose the winner right now because we're already over time, but I just want to show you. I'm going to go post it in the group tonight. It's going to come with a dram of the Madre and Maestra ayahuasca blend. So this is a really special giveaway too. You're getting a little dram. Again, when you get these perfumes, these are uncut. This will end up making 4 or 8 ounces of perfume. This is like a lifetime supply, okay? But anyway, this is the last giveaway. So I'm giving away 6 bottles of Madre and Maestra combined, and then I'm giving away the dram with the Opalina heart. Isn't it beautiful? So go over to the Facebook group later tonight and just comment if you feel called to that, and I will choose a winner of the stone and the dram tomorrow. And also keep you guys posted on the giveaways too. So glad you're excited. I know, right? Honestly, I was so spirit-led today. I really was. She was like, combine them and now bottle those and now go get those to them. So that's what I did today. I'm really glad you're excited about it. Yeah, so the perfumes, what I said was the first 6 people to place an order this afternoon and say mother in their notes are going to win the 6 bottles of the Madre Maestra. And I have not checked to see if they're gone already. I don't know, but I will keep you posted and let you know. When you get Madre Maestra, by the way, it's no joke. That's all I want to tell you. It has beautiful notes in it, but it's an ass kicker, just like the mother medicine itself. I'm trying to pay attention and be a good listener. I'm doing my best. Okay, do you have any questions on your mind right now? And you don't have to feel pressured. Actually, I don't know if there's any shaman songs. The shaman song was the one that comes with both bottles of perfume separately, and I don't know if there's any of those left. Team SG can tell us if they sold out or not. I honestly don't know. Well, if you're feeling called to it, if Shaman Song is sold out, enter the giveaway tonight. That way you have a chance to win it anyway. Anointing. Okay, so anointing is really important. Your body has energy lines, right? Think of the meridians in your body, the chakras themselves. And so energy flows in your body along those lines. And so what you want to do with anointing is you want to make contact between that plant medicine and those energy lines. And so the best way to hit all of the energy lines, if you want to be really complete, you would start at your crown and finish at your root. But it's a little awkward to go down here and be doing this stuff during ritual. Okay, it looks like it looks inappropriate. So what I have found the best thing to do is to start at the third eye or at the crown, but I usually do third eye. And so I take a little bit of the oil at the third eye for what I know. This is how I was taught. Then a little bit of the oil at the wrists for what I do. Again, you're covering energy lines. This covers all of the upper chakra energy lines. This covers all of the meridians through the upper part of your body and your torso. And then when I do a touch at my ankles for where I go, I'm blessing my footsteps, but I'm also covering all of the lower physical energy lines, again, even the ones that anchor you into the earth. So that's why a little bit of it at your third eye for what you know, at your wrist for what you do, at your ankles for where you go. That covers all the meridians. So hopefully that's helpful. Oh, thank you for that, Priscilla. I really appreciate it. So I'm going to post the gemstone and the dram, a picture of it, in the Soul Shift Facebook group this evening. And so all you have to do is go and comment on that, and then I will come in and announce a winner of it tomorrow. Does that help? Just to clarify how to do it. Yeah, so Larice, now you can use a wand. I mean, if you want to get fancy about opening a portal, I wouldn't use selenite for that. I would probably use my dagger. This is a vocal that's terminated with a ball. So you could usually certainly use a tool like that to open and then like that to close. But I've always opened portals with my hands. And the reality is your hands are still your most powerful magic wands. It's just for opening a circle, I like to use selenite. Especially if I'm holding a big container. Selenite's the brightest light that you can summon. Yeah, that's a no joke piece. Louis Krieg made that. That's my Gandalf, you shall not pass wand, right? That's pretty special. So, Tony Buford is really funny. What I know, what I do, where I go, that came from spirit in meditation. So those were my spirit teachers who taught me that. It was actually a friend of mine who does Chinese medicine and is an acupuncturist that taught me about anointing along the energy lines, the meridians. And so wherever the flow of chi or ki or prana, or however you think of it, he was actually one of the most profound teachers in helping me understand where those energy lines flow and how to meet them at primary contact points. But the process itself was something I channeled in meditation. Pretty cool, right? I'm so glad you enjoyed the first month. Jerica, I taught a bonus class on light codes. In fact, wasn't it 2 parts, you guys? Feels like a year ago now that I did that. And I think it's available still pay-per-view. I would highly recommend going back and taking the light codes class if you didn't already. It was a bonus class last year. And was it 3 parts? 3 parts. Because I did 1 part, and then we're like, oh, there's still so much more to learn, and then, oh, there's still so much more to learn, and then, oh, there's still so much more to learn. Was it 4 parts? I don't even remember anymore. And then I did Dark Codes. I think Dark Codes 1 and 2, didn't I? About how to transmute other people's dark energy codes. Yeah, I think it was 3 parts were the light codes and 1 part dark code, if I am remembering correctly. We can't remember. All we know is it was good. And so I will have my team connect you with the links to those if you're interested. Yeah, well, Gina's talking about names and being connected with people around different names. And I was saying that too. Like, sometimes people think that I'm senile because they'll say, oh, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Barbara. And in my mind, I'm like, that's not Barbara. That's, Maria. And so I will keep calling this person by this other name until finally they're like, my name's Barbara. And I'm like, I'm not senile. My soul knows your soul by a different name, and I recognize you. And so I'm really having a hard time getting my soul to see you as Barbara Package or whatever your name is, because my soul knows you over here by this other name. It happened to me once in a romantic relationship when I was very young. He had Pharaoh energy, and I kept wanting to call him by these Egyptian names, and I was very young. I didn't realize what was happening, and that was a powerful reconnection too. So yeah, you know what? Nobody really likes that. They don't like it. And look, I don't like being called other names either, unless I know you're channeling, and then I'm like, you can call me whatever you want. Like, if your soul knows me by some other name, have at it, Yeah, so Rosemary, I don't take the cornmeal cross down. I'm not taking it down. So when you lift up your mesa, try to be careful and try to replace the next mesa without disturbing the cross. If you have to reform it and reshape it, that's okay. But don't try to clean it and sweep it and fix it. Just let it be, because you dedicated and consecrated that space. And so from my perspective, it's lifting up the old and then pulling in the new. Thank you for that permission. No, I really, and I will always tell you, like, if I'm really struggling with your name, I'll tell you, like, hey, I see that you are Tori, I see that you are Cindy, but my soul knows you as X. Can I call you that? And sometimes I will mispronounce people's names, and it's because the pronunciation they're using also doesn't resonate with my soul. And I really try to pronounce the name the way they say their name, but sometimes it's tricky, right? So you're moving your space to a whole other room. Then you're going to want to redo your cornmeal cross. Your cornmeal, salt, tobacco, sage, whatever you did is perfect. Then you can kind of, what I would try to do is gather up and keep the contents separate, so you can kind of sweep them into your hand or into a small bowl or container, and then take them to the new room and set up the circle and the cross and the bay leaves again, if you're moving it all around. Right? Michelle's like, you can call me whatever. Yeah, I always respond to darling, to I always respond to Sage Goddess, so you can always call me. When people are like, what's your real name again? I'm like, it doesn't matter, just whatever you need to call me is fine. Just don't call me crazy. Choosing fabric for bundles is fun. Go with your intuition. Seriously. Take your pendulum to Joanne and have at it. Let the guides tell you what to choose and where to go. Yeah, names are tough, especially as you get older, right? I'm just like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. My sister's name was Kristen, and I'm Athena, and my mom literally called us Krithina that was her name for both of us, for 20 years. Christina! Because she knew we would both come, and she, God bless her, didn't want to say everything twice. So you can also do that. She didn't have a really good intention for doing that, other than just not wanting to say 2 words. But it worked. That right? Patty, Kathy, Tammy. That's so funny. We all are the same. You know what I mean? All the weird shit that happened to you when you were little is the same weird shit that happened to me, and vice versa. That's too funny. If you have more than one kid, now you got to say 2 words. Kind of a joke is that, right? Too funny. All right. Well, if other questions come to mind, let me know. I took some of your questions that you'd asked before and did an audio in the classroom for you. Here's what I want to tell you about that. Don't feel obligated to listen to everything. I am giving you guys twice as much content this year as I've ever given to anybody else in terms of the audio, the video, the classroom sessions, the integration ceremonies after the journeys. And I mean, it's a lot, and I don't want you to get overwhelmed. So when I put audios in the classroom or extra videos or anything like that, or I go live, I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. Take your time. Those are not required for you. That's just like, hey, you guys had some questions. I've got some answers. But I don't want you to feel like, oh, it's too much and I can't keep up. So just pace yourself. I'm glad you like it. I know there's FOMO sometimes, but you know what? You can also trust that you're going to be called to listen to and watch exactly what you need to see when you need to see it. Watch. One of them you might even come back to a year from now. And maybe you don't have the question right now, but you come back to it later. There's no right way and wrong way to do the work that we're doing. I'm going to be live and all over your Facebook group in Tucson for a long time. So again, pace yourself there. I'm only going to come live when I have really fun, cool stuff to show you, but that happens a lot because it's like Mecca for gemstone lovers. But again, if you're new, just pace yourself, right? Team SG, Casey Duggar's got a great question. Are they going to be in the classroom or just Facebook? I think both. I think like the Q&A will go in the classroom and the Facebook. We have quite a few members in the program who are not on Facebook. I think there's 1,300 people total in the program, and at least 150 of them are not on Facebook. So I try to put as much in the classroom as I can, recognizing that those people don't like Facebook and will not go into the Facebook group for whatever their personal reasons are. So I try to keep that in mind too. Ursula's going to need a bigger data package, that's right. But anyway, thank you for your support. Thank you for being excited and enthusiastic. Thank you for your patience tonight. My altar is like so full. I don't even know where to begin in reordering things, but have a beautiful rest of your evening. I'm going to go get your giveaway up in the classroom. So Denise is asking about the classroom. On sagegoddess.com, you have a classroom page, and that's where the notes for class are posted, and the content, some of the content is there. The videos, we try to put archived stuff and those things in the classroom. So that is what you'll find on sagegoddess.com. And if you have any trouble accessing that, send a quick note to magic@sagegoddess.com, and they'll make sure you have all the information because you have an account. But again, I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. You don't have to take everything in all the time. Pace yourself. You don't have to watch class live. You can watch it recorded next week. It's still going to be there. Do you know what I mean? And again, I will come back to pick up and answer your questions. And my team is taking notes for you. So we just want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy. Because the shift is happening whether you're at every class session or not. Truly, truly. Aho. All right, enjoy. I'm going to go home, get some rest, get on a plane, go buy some rocks. All the things. Thank you very much. I love you plenty too. I love you. Yeah, tonight was really good, wasn't it? It just felt really good. The energy's sweet. You guys are beautiful and powerful. I am so honored and humbled to be in your company. They are some of the most powerful, strong, beautiful. I mean, truly you are. You are magnificent. I stand in awe of you. So please don't ever feel like you're not supposed to be here or you're not bringing enough to the table. This class is only as good as it is because of you. And I feel like the universe just cherry-picked each one of you to be here, and I love you from the bottom of my heart. So it's a joy. Every time I get to spend time in your presence, that's a gift to me too. And we're healing our planet as we go. too. So I might come live and say hello from Tucson. We'll kind of see what's going on as people unpack. When I go early, I tend to help them unpack, so I end up working the whole day because they're like, oh, you're here. Come over here and open these flats. Help us get this pallet taken apart. Because we're friends with all of our vendors, you know what I mean? We've been with them for years now, so they're like, oh, thank God you're here. Grab a beer and unpack a box. And of course, I'm always happy to do that, so. All right, you guys, cheers. Love to the sirens. Cheers to you. I'll see you guys soon. Have a great rest of your evening. Take good care. Enjoy your medicine.